welcome back to my channel. My name is Darian and today I am going to be talking about my June TBR. So in June I am going to be participating in the Olympic Games Readathon, which is being hosted by Ishi from Ishi Time. I will link her announcement video down below for this readathon. So the Olympic Games Readathon is based off of Percy Jackson, which is really exciting because I love Percy Jackson, and as we all know, there's going to be a Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus one day. I don't know when that'll be, but it's happening and that's all that matters. So in this readathon, you can pick which cabin you want to be a part of. And basically, if you haven't read Percy Jackson, each cabin represents the god that your parent is, if that makes sense. So in Percy Jackson, there's demigods, which means you have one parent who's a god and one parent who's a human. And at Camp Half-Blood, you stay in the cabin of the god that is your parent. I think that makes sense. So basically you can choose whatever cabin you want to be a part of, or Rick Riordan on his website, there's a test to see who your demigod parent is. So I did that because I had no idea how to choose one, and I got Poseidon, which is Percy Jackson's dad also. So I guess we're siblings, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I will be doing the prompts for the Poseidon cabin. Go Team Poseidon. If you're also Team Poseidon, let me know. We could be friends. Okay. So yeah, so each cabin has 5 mandatory prompts, and then in addition to those prompts, there's some advanced challenges that you can also, what's the word? Like, what is the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. You can also... I keep thinking perform. It's not perform. There's extra challenges that you can complete. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. There's extra challenges that you can complete. Anyways, so first I'll talk about the 5 mandatory prompts that I'm going to be fulfilling. So the first prompt is to read a book that is set on the sea or on a coast, and for this prompt I am going to be reading Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This book, I don't know too much about it. I know it's about this girl who lives in this small town, I think, that is on a coast, so that works perfectly, and I believe there's a magical element to it, so I think it's magical realism, and I think there's also a female-female romance, which is really exciting, and I've heard amazing things about this book, and I've also heard amazing things about this author, and I would really love to read more of their books. Hopefully, if I like this book, then I will get to more of their books, and yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I'll be reading it on my Kindle, which will be the first book I read on my Kindle. I just got it, so that'll be really fun. So the next prompt is to read a book in which a main character uses a sword, and for this prompt I'm going to be reading Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. As you can see, she has 2 swords, so a double whammy. But I read the first book back in March and I really enjoyed it, so I was really surprised. I thought I really wasn't going to like it, but I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm excited to get to the second one. So the first book follows this assassin named Selena, and she has been imprisoned for, I think it's a year, and she's treated really badly, and then she's given the chance to gain her freedom if she competes in this competition, and the winner of this competition becomes the personal assassin to the king. And if she wins and then serves the king for like 4 years, I think, then she gets complete freedom and she is pardoned for all her past like wrongdoings, I guess. So yeah, I really enjoyed the first book. Like I said, I am really looking forward to reading the sequel. I have heard people say that after the first book, the series kind of go down. I can't speak today. After the first book, the series kind of goes downhill from there, but I also heard people say that the first 3 books are great. So I'm excited to read this and see what I think. And I also love the covers for this series. I do like the UK covers better, the white ones, but I like this one. So yeah. So the next prompt is to read a book with a non-human main character, and for that I'm going to be reading Cersei by Madeline Miller. Cersei is about the goddess Cersei, so she is not a human. And aside from that, I don't know too much about it, but I'm always up for reading like mythological books. I do have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited to read Cersei also. I have heard more people say they like Song of Achilles. I've heard a lot of mixed things about Cersei. Some people seem to really love it, and some people not so much, so I'm excited to see where I land on it. But like I said, I love reading about mythology, and I think I heard there is another female-female romance in this book, I think. So we love that. But yeah, I'm excited to read this one also. The next prompt is to read a book that you have not heard much about before, and for this I am going to be reading 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. I have no idea what this book is about. My mom got it to me for Christmas because someone recommended it to her, and I literally I have no clue what this book is about. But it's extremely tiny. I think it's less than 100 pages. 97 pages, so a little less than 100 pages. So I should be able to get through this in a day. Which is part of the reason why I chose this, because we love short books for our readathon. A 20-year correspondence between an American writer and a British bookseller. That's what it says on the front. Should be interesting. I've heard literally nobody talk about this book. I haven't seen it anywhere on BookTube. I don't know anyone who's read it, so I think this is the perfect book for this prompt, especially because it's short. But yeah, I'm excited to read this book. It's been a really long time since I've read a book that I hadn't heard hype for before, because I tend to like follow the hype and read what seems to be popular. So this should be really interesting. I'm excited to read this one. So the last prompt for Poseidon, I actually won't be completing. It is finish a book in exactly 3 days, and I don't I don't love it for me, just because I'm so unpredictable with my reading. Like, if I know I'm gonna hate it if I start a book and I really love it and have to prolong it, or if I really hate it and then I have to force myself to finish it in 3 days. Like I've said before, I'm a really slow reader, so 3 days is pretty fast for me, so I didn't want to do that to myself. But for the readathon, you can read the group book. You can replace it with any of your prompts. So I'm going to be reading the group book instead of doing this prompt, and the group book is Lovely War by Julie Berry. And I tried explaining this book in my book haul, so check that out if you want. But basically it is a story of these two couples during World War II, and it is being narrated by Aphrodite. So another mythological book, which is great, and definitely fits the theme of Percy Jackson. So it's narrated by Aphrodite and some other gods, I think, and I've heard a lot of people say this book made them cry, so really looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. I've heard only amazing things, and I was so excited when I saw this was the group book, so I'm excited to talk about this with everyone else participating as well. So now we are on to the advanced challenges. So one of the advanced challenges for the Poseidon cabin is Pegasus riding. I have it down here, that's why I'm looking down. Pegasus riding, which is to read a book written in the last 5 years. For this prompt, I am going to be reading The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And of course, this book, the topic of this book is extremely relevant, especially today because of the recent murder of George Floyd. He was a black man who was murdered by 4 police officers. First of all, I just want to say, please just do your research, find places to donate, find any way you can help. Find black creators to follow and listen to them. Find the petitions to sign to get these police officers arrested. And I will be leaving a link down below to the Minnesota Freedom Fund. That's where I donated. If it is in your means, please donate, or if you have another place that it would be good to donate to, please leave it in the comments below so that we can see it. I think it's important to talk about this. and please donate if you can. Please sign the petitions. Please do your research about how you can help, and please support not just Black creators, but Black people right now. One other thing I will say is, if you are not subscribed to Jessie from Bow Ties and Books, please do so. Also, please follow them on Instagram and watch their Instagram stories. They are currently protesting in Minneapolis, and their stories are just really powerful and really educational, and I just really encourage people to go support them and follow them while they're protesting. And yeah, so my heart is with them, my heart is with everybody. So I will be reading The Hate You Give. This story is about a young Black teenager who witnesses her friend being murdered by a police officer and the repercussions of that. And I am looking forward to reading this because I've heard how amazing it is, and I am excited to be reading Angie Thomas for the first time, and I am definitely prioritizing this book. I know we're supposed to read the 5 main prompts for our cabin before we read anything for the advanced challenges, but I definitely want to prioritize this month. I feel like that's really important, so yes. So the next advanced challenge is monster fighting, which is to read a book with magical creatures in it. And for that, I'm going to be reading Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. As you can see, there is a giant cat on the cover, and I've heard there's also lots of other magical creatures. And I'm really excited about this book. It'll be the first middle grade that I've read in a long time. So it follows this girl named Morgan Crow, and she's been told that on her 11th birthday she's going to die, but then she is rescued. And I've heard this compared to Harry Potter, so I'm assuming there's some sort of magical school, and I think this will be a really nice escape read for this month. The last challenge is canoeing, which is to read a book with blue on the cover, and for that I will be reading They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. And I mean, I know this is kind of purpley, but I think it's blue enough. I don't know, that looks blue to me. So this book, the premise is really intriguing to me. This is about this kind of, not a dystopian world, but this, I guess, alternate world where the day before you die, or 24 hours before you die, you get this text message telling you that you're going to die in 24 hours so that you can get your affairs in order and spend your last day however you want. And so this follows a boy who gets this text message and is told he's going to die in the next 24 hours. And he finds another boy who also is supposed to die in 24 hours, and then they form this friendship, and I think they form a romance. So it is a male-male romance, which is great. And I'm excited to be reading a lot of books featuring LGBTQ romances in Pride Month, so that's exciting. But yeah, I've heard mixed things about this book, but the premise really intrigued me, so I'm really excited to read it and see what I think. So another book I wanted to mention that I will try to get to this month is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm supposed to be buddy reading this with one of my friends, so I would really like to get to this one this month as well. This follows Evelyn Hugo, who was a extremely famous actress in the golden age of Hollywood, but she's always been really private, and she is famous for having 7 husbands. And then in the present day, she decides to tell her story to this kind of unknown journalist, and no one really knows why she's chosen this journalist to tell her story to, but apparently there is a reason that you find out at the end, and I've just heard absolutely amazing things about this book, so I am really hoping I can get to this one this month. And the last book I'm going to be mentioning is Days of Blood and Starlight. Here, there's no cover for you to look at. Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. If you guys saw my 24-hour reading vlog, I started Daughter of Smoke and Bone and finished it in that vlog, and then I started the second book, and I am, how many pages am I in now? I'm about 150 pages through it, so I'm still trying to finish this before June 1st. Today is a few days before June starts, but I don't think that's gonna happen, so I might read this throughout June and try to finish it, because if I stop and then pick it back up again at the beginning of July, I'm not gonna remember it. Like, I have a really bad memory when it comes to books, so I'm hopefully going to be finishing this at some point in June while also reading all these books. That's my TBR for June. Go check out Ishii's channel and watch the announcement video for the readathon. Go check out Jessie, go check out their channel and follow them on Instagram as well. Please go watch their Instagram stories. I think it's really important right now. And support your Black friends, support Black creators. I can't say that enough. Again, please donate if you can. Please sign petitions and do research on how you can help. I will continue to do what I can to help. My links will be down below, and I'm really excited for this readathon. It should be a lot of fun. Thank you, Ishii, for organizing this. I'm really excited, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!